In the next 3 minutes, do you have any idea about how many texts will be sent across the Philippines? None of the above. Try 2.5 million. In the time it takes to watch this video, 72 hours of video will have been uploaded to YouTube, and 500 million emails will be sent around a shrinking world. And not all of it is good. You might just wonder why this is happening and what you can do about it. Can you find the answer by reading about it? By listening to music about it? By taking pictures about it? In the time it takes you to Google the answer, someone across the ocean can help you understand how their religious beliefs aren't very different from yours. What they did to overcome barriers based on gender, and why the color of their skin does not determine what they can achieve in life. Their answers may surprise you because they could be the opposite from what you are being told. With the click of a button, not only can you share your ideas and opinions with 2 billion other internet users, you can choose what opinions agree with who you are and listen to what's going on the other side of the world. To find out that no one owns the truth because the truth is found among us all. Technology has made your world small, but it has made your voice as big as you want it to be. And your voice matters. Think about the difference your voice could make to that person on the other side of the world. You might change the way they see you once they get to learn a little more about you. With a click, what you think, say, and do has impact. You may already know more than you think you do. Today, how will you use technology to build understanding?
Ayun. So nakita na natin kung papaano yung mga ibang paraan na magiging advantageous at effective naman yung ating communication technology na magamit natin sa positive. And we're happy and lucky kasi po this afternoon kasama natin yung ating Minister Counselor for OSA ng Australian Government. Para po sa information ng lahat, ang Australian Government is generously paying for most of the programs ng PeaceTech. Kasama po yung ating video conference ngayon. At especially for the people in Mindanao, alam po natin na yung OSA is very supportive sa mga peace education programs, yung mga poverty, eradication, and other livelihood support sa ating mga tao sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas. Kaya, we're happy to have with us the Minister Counselor for OSA of the Australian Government, Mr. Titon Mitra. Sir, nasa Maynila po siya.
Palakpakan po natin si Mr. Titon Mitra, Minister Counselor for OSA Philippines. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Magandang hapon and assalamu alaikum to Manila and Jensan. Thank you for giving me the time to say a few words on behalf of the Australian government. Many of you must be wondering why the Australian government is supporting this program. In the Philippines, we've been working here for nearly 50 years on many development projects. But the 2 areas that we really concentrate on are peace and development and education. So it's very clear that when you look at PeaceTech, that their work is about bringing peace through education, building understanding. So when we received a proposal from PeaceTech to help finance this program, we were really happy to be engaged because we see so much potential in using technology to build understanding. let me just tell you a little story about something which happened about 5 years ago in Australia. In a suburb in Australia, one small part of Sydney, there was a very sad incident. On a very nice day on a beach suburb, two Australians of European heritage had a fight with about three Australians of Lebanese heritage from the Middle East. And this fight was reported very broadly in the newspapers, on the radio, and many people started to use the internet to talk about the fight. They texted their friends, and what they said through all those different forms of communication was that these Australians who were from the Middle East, who were Australians, had attacked Australians who were from Europe, white Australians, and they were attacking the way of life in Australia. And the message that was being sent around was that people who may come to Australia from the Middle East, who may be Muslims, weren't welcome in Australia. And within a week, because of all these texts, all these messages, the radio programs and the newspapers, 1 week later, in that area in Sydney, 5,000 young people of European heritage in Australia came to that place, and it was a terrible, terrible day in Australia. On that day, they attacked many people who looked like they were from the Middle East, who might have looked like they were Muslims. And it was a real tragedy for Australia, and for many of us who saw this, we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe in Australia, which is a country which is made up of people from many parts of the world, that something like this could happen. But what it really showed is really the power of technology, that the fact that some people had used technology in a very, very bad way to spread a message of hatred and create anger, mistrust, and divide communities. But if you think about it, if you can use that same power for something very positive, how much you can do in this world. If you just imagine that for every one of you in this room, if each of you went home to an internet cafe or went to an internet cafe and you emailed 5 people about a very positive message, about a message about Christians and Muslims and Hindus and Jains or any other religion living together in the world, about a message perhaps about the government needing to provide services for its people and doing it in a way which is not corrupt, about a message perhaps about preserving the environment so it's a legacy for your children and their children. If you use the internet like that, each of you sending a message to 5 others who then send a message to 5 others who then send a message to 5 others, can you imagine the reach you would have? You could change the world. And that really is the power of technology. And when I was in school, I think about my days in school. I was in a little class of 30 people, and my school may have been about 500 or 600 people. That was my world. I couldn't connect with the rest of the world, but for you it's so much different now. You can connect with all of the world through the internet, through technology. And what I would encourage all of you to do is think about the positive messages you can send to change the world for the better, because that power is in your hands. It's literally at the press of a button. So thank you, and we're very happy to be a part of this wonderful program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sir Mitra.
Thank you, sir. Ang ganda ng mensahe ni Mr. Titon Mitra.
PeaceTech is the way to peace, not only in the Philippines, but in the Philippines, but even outside of the Philippines as well.
That's right, Baicon. Ang ganda ng message ni, wow, biglang lumakas yung boses ko. Ang ganda ng message ni Mr. Mitra from the Australian Embassy. Kinukwento niya kung paano ginagamit yung teknolohiya para magkaroon ng pagkakaunawa. Dahil sa minsan, ang problema ay yung unawaan lang, hindi lang tayo nagkakaintindihan, kaya nagkakaroon ng gulo. Hindi ba, Baicon?
Tama ka dyan, Ato.
Okay. At ngayon, Siguro yung mga kabataan dito sa Maynila at ang kabataan sa Jensen ay medyo nagtataka ng konti. Bakit ba tayo nandito? Ano nga ba ang ating gagawin sa ating event ngayong hapon? Aba, masagot ko ng konti para sa inyo. Unang-una, ang Pilipinas kasi ay binubuo ng ilang isla. 7,107 islands ang Pilipinas. Napakaraming mga isla. Sabi nga ni Charlene Gonzalez dati, high tide o low tide. Dahil sa napakalayong mga isla sa Pilipinas. At minsan, nagiging mahirap yung communication sa pagitan ng iba't ibang grupo ng mga tao. At syempre, bukod dito sa problemang yan, hindi naman natin may pagkakaila na meron din tayong konting problema sa peace sa iba-ibang mga bahagi ng bansa, lalo na meron mga hindi pagkakaunawaan sa pagitan ng iba't ibang grupo ng mga tao. Sa pamamagitan nito ang ating ginagawa ngayong hapon, umaasa tayo na baka makatulong yung unawaan sa pagitan ng mga kabataan para masolusyonan yung ganitong klase mga problema. Kaya kayo ang magiging solusyon sa mga problemang yan. Sa Maynila hanggang sa Jensen kasama ni Baicon, di ba?
At saka kung titingnan natin, Atom, yung mga challenges hindi lang talaga dito sa Pilipinas, pati na rin sa ibang lugar, no? Gaya na nangyayari ngayon sa Middle East, pati na rin sa North Africa. May mga problema tayo gaya ng dahilan sa diskriminasyon, sa prejudice, o dahil sa conflict mismo. At madalas, o kung minsan man lang, yung technology ang nagiging dahilan kung bakit lumalala palalo yung mga hindi pagkakaintindihan.
Tama. Baicon,
So,
tingin
ngayon,
ko, ang importante dito, i-presenta natin sa ating mga kaibigan
Yes.
dito kung ano
Tingnan
nga ba
natin
yung problema na kinakaharap natin.
Yes, yes. So ipakita po natin, papakita po namin ngayon yung video na sinasabi natin para maintindihan natin kung ano ba talaga yung pinag-uugatan ng mga problema ito. Panoorin po natin to.